staff, we come in and we strive every day to reach in and pull that boy out of that lifestyle. Give them the truth. Our program at 10 months, by the time that they finish their 10 months, they have received over 1,000 hours of Bible study. That's not including prayer time, devotion time, and other things like this. This is the curriculum. And so what we do is we reach into that pit of these snarling lions. And they are no more desiring to let that boy go than Satan himself has on the lost in this world. Almost every boy that comes into the program does not know Jesus. Does not know Jesus. They have no biblical background. They have no desire to even try to find out who Jesus is. And this is where we're at. This is what we're dealing with. These kids get in our face. They cuss us out on a regular basis. They call us names. They do everything they can think of. And again, and the Bible tells us that our battle is not against flesh and blood. It's not against these boys. These boys are not our enemy. We are not their enemy, although they think we are. Our battle is against spiritual forces that are surrounding, protecting this boy. Our call as Christians is to do the will of God and to take care of and protect whoever God puts us in His path. Don't think if you're a parent or a grandparent or anything like that you're exempt from your children being sucked into this. One of the conference deals that we went through, and we were talking to people who've been in it longer than us. And these drug dealers are now manufacturing methamphetamines for 8-year-old children. They are packaging them in little candy wrappers. And they've found a way to sweeten the drug. So they'll go to these schools, these little grade schools, and even in preschool and stuff, 5, 7, 8-year-old kids. And they'll give them this candy for free. And it tastes like candy, but it's methamphetamines. It's crystal meth. It's nothing short of the exact same thing. All they've done was take the bite out of it. Because they know that if they can hook that kid at 7 or 8 years old, man, they've got somebody for life. They think they do. They don't know the power of our God. They don't know that there are Christians out there that are praying for these people. But you need to understand that this is what's happening in our society. That these staggering numbers, 3,800 kids a day. And then I didn't even tell you all about the ones doing marijuana and cocaine and methamphetamines and alcohol and all these things. I didn't tell you about those because to me, you know, why do that? So you understand the powerful influence. You understand what Satan is doing to these kids. And seeing lives changed is what New Horizons is all about. Going in and taking that effort, taking that step, taking that opportunity. But we can't do it. We as staff can't do it without support from the churches, without prayer support, without financial support. I mean, everybody knows today the economy is in a bad situation. And people are hurting for money. And so the first thing, you may not realize this, the first thing that stops is donations. It's the first thing. And we get these calls. And I wanted to just say, my office that I have is in the home where the boys are at. Okay? And it's not the main number. Mine is the secondary number. So if they can't get the main number, they call my office. And they leave messages on this message machine. And it's heart-wrenching. Every day that I go into work, I have to play this message of these mothers that are just broken in tears. I don't know who else to turn to. I have tried everything. My son has been in and out of jail so many times it's unreal. My son is facing all these criminal charges. My son is hooked on meth. My son, you know, I'm afraid for my life. I'm afraid for my you know, I have a 12-year-old boy, and I'm afraid that he is going to sexually abuse my 8-year-old daughter. because he's into these drugs. And I hear these phone calls every day. And I'm going to get some water now. And know how many thousands are calling with the same thing. And we have 12 beds. 12 beds in this region. I'm not talking Flagstaff. I'm talking the entire Southwest for Teen Challenge. 12 beds. And it's a 10-month program. Our success rate for graduates is, does anybody know Teen Challenge history? 86%. If a child finishes the program, there's 86% success rate. They do not return to drugs. They do not return to the life they were living. Nowhere in society can they match that statistic. Nowhere. Now, I want to tell you, our biggest desire right now is the director, Daniel Williamson, has found a piece of property that's outside of Flagstaff. Anybody know where Winona is? East of Flagstaff, Winona. And there's a facility there that has been repossessed by the bank. And it is a perfect facility for a ranch expansion that we want to do. We want to increase our program to include this ranch. You'll see back here, if you look on the table, you'll see some horses and some horse pictures and stuff. One of the things that is very common to drug rehab and these types of behavior problems and stuff is the ability to reach these kids through animals, through dogs, through horses, through cows, through these things, because they're not angry at them. I represent the parents that have made them angry. I represent society that caused them to do this in the first place. So our horse program is to bring them to where we can introduce them to Jesus, because you know we can stop the drugs, but if we don't go to the root of the problem, which is the fact that they don't know who Jesus is, if they don't have a king, if they don't have a king in their life, they will do exactly the same thing they've done before. And so that is why Teen Challenge is so good at what they do, is because they bring Jesus to the forefront every day, every day, every day, every day. It's Jesus. And so out here at this ranch, we want to purchase this ranch. It was on the market for $1.2 million. And it's been reduced considerably, less than half of what it is now. And the corporate office down in Tucson has given New Horizons permission to purchase this piece of property if they can come up with the money. And what we need to do for New Horizons is we need to raise $250,000, which is a faith promise that we will pay off the rest of the mortgage. So our portion, in order to actually purchase the ranch facility, is $250,000. $250,000 is a drop in the bucket. It's nothing to a God who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. It's nothing if every Christian in America gave $1. We would be way over $250,000. We would increase our beds from 12 to 35. And you may think, wow, well, I know that you turn away thousands, but man, just the idea that we could actually increase it that much, from 12 to 35, and then get the program going and increase it even more. Maybe open another center someplace else. Because these children, these boys who are trying so hard to be men, and they don't know how. Everybody's familiar with Chick-fil-A, the restaurant? Okay, great Christian man. And I wanted to quote, he wrote a book, and I wanted to quote his thing here. And he said, and the title of his book is